NCTV45, The Train, anytime on your time.
Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station. This program furnished by Sporting Goods, 23 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Call 724-658-2535. These fine businesses provided funding for this program. Gatherings, Town and Country, and On Target.
Welcome everybody to the Cedars Sports Corner. I'm Alex Laverson, and with me as always is our producer, Mr. Angelo Parada. And Angelo, from my understanding, you're having quite a morning and you're on a bit of a rampage, to say the least.
Let's talk about we the people of the WPIAL Insanity, Western Pennsylvania Insanity Associational League. Okay, for Allegheny County. Now, I'm not making this up. On the 21st, the governor had a roundtable, and I usually don't bring in Governor Wolf, but you know, the guy occasionally I think he does some good things. I don't throw everybody under the bus. I just say, is this good or is this bad? He had a roundtable with teens to talk about teen driving. Now, as it goes with the WPL playoffs, and everybody knows football is king in Western Pennsylvania, there is no second. Thomas Jefferson and South Fayette went undefeated. Congratulations to both of those teams. Montour finished in 4th place in the league and was rated 8th. And West Mifflin finished in 4th place in their league and was rated 7th. So respectively, Montour plays TJ and South Fayette plays West Mifflin. Now, the 3rd place team, Bell Vernon, had a better record. They were 9-1, while Blackhawk was 6-3. So that means Bell Vernon is 3. And number 4 is Blackhawk. Now comes the controversy. The reign of stupidity by the WPIL, who can't get out of their way and doesn't want any criticism whatsoever with their stupidity. They took a number 5 place Newcastle and shoved them into 6 and moved Greensburg-Salem into 5th. Now, here's the thing. You catered to your Pittsburgh media. We know that. Don't lie. Mike White wrote an insane article, and I read it and dissected it. He got his journalism degree, in my humble opinion, on the back of a cereal box. And I don't think you even needed box tops. They just gave it away with the box of cereal. Maybe it was called Fruit Loops. I don't know. So they took a 6-4 Newcastle and a 5-5 Greensburg-Salem, and they diminished Newcastle's record and rated Greensburg-Salem, a 500 team, above the Canes. Let's go Canes.
Wow.
I hope you beat Bell Vernon. I hope this gets exposed throughout Western Pennsylvania. No doubt I'll be taking it to a lot of my legislatures. And I'll be saying this for a long time to come, because you've got fuel and you put it in my rocket. Thank you.
Wow, that was a lot to take in. And
would you ever see in NCAA football, would you ever see in the NFL a team saying, well, you know, even though you've got a better record, we just happen to like this team better, and they get in front of you? Really?
Maybe that would be more the NCAA than like in basketball when they choose their teams and seedings. That I could see that coming into play. But overall, like, you know, in football and NFL, you got to go by standings, wins, losses, conference rankings.
Right. You're only dealing with 2 conferences here, and you're taking 8 teams. Okay? And this is about money for the boys in the WPL. I think if I was Newcastle, I would have said, thanks, but no thanks. We'll have our own tournament. And I would invite 2 teams from Ohio to play off and 2 teams from Pennsylvania to play off. And then we would have had a Super Bowl on Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, you know what? It could have been called the Newcastle Bowl. And you know what? I'd do it every year, because if they're going to give fake fraud and phony type stuff, no. This isn't about the boys in Pittsburgh. This is about the boys of Pennsylvania, the boys that play in the fall. And this should have been done well before, just like in Ohio, where they have your finished place and who you're playing. They know it, bing, bang, done. Instead of an hour and 40 minutes, they have to drive almost 2 hours to get to a game, when it could have been a lot safer, and it would have been a lot fairer, and nobody would have been discriminated against, in my humble opinion.
Wow. So again, a lot to soak in. So I think we are due for a break here. When we come back, maybe we'll talk some college sports in Pennsylvania. And
This
now
program was provided through funding from Cedars Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. A special thanks to Cedars, featuring Middle Eastern, Italian, and American cuisine.
If you're craving hot dogs and more, and you're in the area, then look no farther than Coney Island, downtown Newcastle on Kennedy Square.
This program was provided through funding from Cedars Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. A special thanks to Cedars, featuring Middle Eastern, Italian, and American cuisine.
And welcome back to the Cedar Sports Corner, everybody. Angelo, college football this weekend was, at least for me, quite frustrating. Pitt lost to Miami in a game where I believe Pitt should have won. And if you look at the stats, total yardage, time of possession, Pitt played a better game, but they weren't able to convert red zone trips into touchdowns. And now, you know, there's a lot of reports saying that their quarterback, Kenny Pickett, is still suffering from shoulder injuries and things like that, and that might have contributed to his bad play. My whole thing is this. Pitt's defense is really talented and really good. It's finally a Pat Narduzzi defense, but the offense is so bad that it's kind of like a toss-up in which Pitt team you're going to get. If the offense plays even mediocre, I feel like Pitt's going to win, but the offense was so terrible against Miami.
Well, let's look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first of all, understand, yeah, I'm a Notre Dame fan. In the South, if you ask me in the ACC what team I really like, I don't dislike and despise Pitt. I like Georgia Tech. I don't think Georgia Tech can win this game I just go just to see Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You like how they're traditionally known.
Yeah.
Triple option.
So here I see Pitt win, and Pitt goes to 3-2. Pitt plays North Carolina. Big game. Okay, once again at home. Pitt's not going to lose all these games at home. Pitt beats North Carolina. Then they play at Virginia Tech. This could be the game that decides who wins the Coastal. Because if Pitt's able to beat Georgia Tech, they take on a mediocre Boston College team. The Boston College, there's only one game on Boston College's schedule, and that's Notre Dame. Let's put it to you straight. It's the battle of the Midwest Catholics versus the Northeast Catholics. So Pitt will take Boston College in a sleeper. Pitt runs a table. They become 4-2 in the conference. And check that. They become, they're already 2-2. 5 games, they'll be 7-2 in the conference. Well, 7-2 is pretty doggone good, and a 10-3 record gets you into a pretty good bowl game. Now, here's the kicker that I think is absolutely splendid. And once again, you heard it here first. That Pat Narduzzi defense is playing Clemson. And if they sit and do what they're capable of doing, it could be a bad day for Clemson.
And that's the thing. Pitt's capable of beating these top teams. We saw what they did against Central Florida. Now, also at the same time, if their offense comes out really flat, they could lose a lot of these games they should have won, as evidenced what happened with Miami. It's kind of like it's very similar theme at Pitt. It's just like they'll lose games they're supposed to win, and they win games that no one thinks they're going to win.
They just can't put all the pressure. The offense can't put all the pressure on the defense.
Exactly.
The defense will perform. Now, here's another humdinger. You've got Notre Dame at home, and the Irish have to rebound after, I would call it humiliating, loss to Michigan. Now, who do the Irish have left? They play Virginia Tech, and then they have Duke, Navy, Boston College, and Stanford. The thing about Duke, Navy, Boston College, and Stanford, that's their bowl game. Stanford won't go to a bowl. That'll be the biggest thing in the history for them. Okay, Boston College, that's their big thing, and they're going to be at Notre Dame on Senior Day. Navy's going to be at Notre Dame, so that will be interesting. And then it will be at Duke, and really, with the Irish only going at Duke and at Stanford, this schedule looks favorable for the Irish to run the table if they able or to do the hokey pokey. Okay, and they're starting to project bowl games. Okay, so where does that put Notre Dame in the group? That'll be interesting because Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, LSU, they're all projecting them to be in the playoff. Okay, and Notre Dame with a loss makes it go down in the bowl ratings, and we're looking here, and it almost could force them way down as we're on to December 26th, and I have not seen any Notre Dame. Okay, Pitt looking at the Military Bowl, okay, versus Navy, and still no Notre Dame as we get to the 27th, and Notre Dame and Kansas State in the Camping Worldwide Bowl, December 28th at noon, and that would be pretty bad for the Irish as they tumble down the ladder to not even a primetime matchup, okay, even if they run the table. So interesting things going to happen, and
I think what we should do now is maybe take a break, get a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, maybe we'll finish talking up about the subject and maybe dive into the NFL. So now a word from our sponsors.
This program furnished by the MAD Unit, Mobile Auto Detailing. See Michael Sad at themadunit.com. Holy snowman, it's the Turf Bar, home of great sandwiches, appetizers, tacos, you name it, they have it at the Turf Bar. It's just the right food. You'll enjoy those special drinks. They're there too. And get that nice cold beverage, relax, enjoy the Turf Bar. If you ain't there, you should be. Hello, friends. Pinella Brothers, 1701 Hamilton Street, provided funding for this program. Great food and drink, Pinella Brothers.
Welcome back, everybody, to our final segment of the Cedars Sports Corner. And Angelo, we forgot to talk about Penn State. And Penn State, right on the outside of that Final Four.
I don't like to say swear words.
Well, Edge,
you know, here's the thing. You've got a lot of parity in college football. Now, the thing that irks me about Penn State, Notre Dame's losses came on the road, and hey, it rained for both teams, but that was a tough rainstorm. In Michigan, if you recall that one pass our quarterback thrown, as he was getting hit, the guy caught it in the end zone. That was impressive. It was an impressive hit by the Irish and an impressive pass by the Michigan Wolverines. So if you missed that, you missed a hell of a game. Okay, and you missed a hell of a game down in Georgia. Thus, even though the score Notre Dame got blown out against Michigan, both games were on the road. Now, here's what Notre Dame didn't do. Notre Dame didn't overdose on the Pop Warner teams in northern Michigan. Okay? I just feel like Penn State, when they had to play Pitt, they struggled. They don't like they don't like playing rivals. They don't like playing West Virginia, and they don't like playing the Panthers, and they just don't like it. They want to go out and say, we'll play Buffalo, come on down. They know they're going to kill Buffalo, and they're going to take the money. I don't know that, based on schedule, and this is what we talked about before, okay, you can't do it in high school. In high school, they set the schedule. But here, the ADs are setting the schedule. So you make your own bed. You know, so Penn State could break in there. But they have to beat Ohio State.
And that's the thing. So
now, in the NFL, Steelers win.
Well, they won their last two, San Diego and Miami. So, you know, I'm not going to say that, oh, here come the Steelers, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say that.
Two games behind the Ravens. And the Ravens are running through the raindrops.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's Baltimore's division to...
Well, now Baltimore has to play at the Patriots. So if there was ever a time to be a Patriot fan, it would be now.
Oh, I mean, not like there's any time to be a Patriot fan. It'd be since 2001, really.
No. I'm only a Patriot fan when it's going to benefit me.
Mm-hmm.
So if they lose, they're 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
As Steelers win, they're 5-4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next game is with the Bungles. Okay, down in Bungle Land, and the Steelers. When you take a look at what Pittsburgh has, they have a game against the Colts, which I think is very winnable at home, and a game against the Rams, and that game is at 4:25. Do you know, this is a stat, the teams on the West Coast, when they come east, they lose like 45% of the time because of the time change.
That's a stat I was not aware of, actually.
So, I think it's a great opportunity for the Steelers to win to, the Ravens to lose to, and then you're going into some interesting times with the Browns, and the Ravens being the last game of the season.
I'll tell you what, man, what a disappointment it is for Browns fans. I don't know what's worse, being a Browns fan and experiencing all those losing seasons for how long, or being a Browns fan and finally thinking that they're going to be good and then being disappointed.
Well,
so
the Browns played a tough schedule, and now they still have to play the Steelers, but they've got the Bills, they've got the Dolphins, they've got the Bengals. Those are all home easy games that the Browns should pick up 3 wins. And this game on December 22nd, where the Ravens come to Cleveland, I have a feeling that Cleveland, the Brownies, they borrowed a few of those tomahawks and bows and arrows from the Indians, and I think they're going raven hunting. And that sounds like a great thing for the Steelers, because the people in Cleveland still hate the Ravens almost as much as Pittsburgh. So this could be the do.
Yeah, so some interesting stuff going on in the NFL. So I think that's pretty much a wrap, Angelo. Yep. Any parting words?
Let's go Irish. Let's go Dukes.
All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good one.